How to delegate without having staff? It's a great question. How on earth can you do that, John? Oh well, I'm going to tell you. If you just hang on one sec, let me introduce myself, because I am John Butt. This is the Marketing for Owners podcast. This is a daily show, and it may be Monday, it may be episode 506, like a week after I did episode 500, but it's still exciting, and there's still work to be done. We all have tons of work to do in our businesses, in our departments, in whatever. And my job, my mission, whatever you want to call it, is to help you make it easier. Now, you are working flat out. You don't have enough hours in a day, etc., etc. It doesn't have to be like that. One of our problems as small business owners, as entrepreneurs, as whatever you want to call yourself, is that we have too much to do. We cannot get others to do it quite often because no one else is good enough. No one else is as good as us at doing it. Yeah, I know. You're thinking the same, aren't you? And you're kind of giggling because you know it's not really true. But we think like that. And the other problem is we can't afford to pay someone else. No. But that's because we got it all wrong. Now, this occurred to me a long time ago, and it made, back in my days of Triangle Fire Protection, which is my last fire company years ago. I sold that in 2003. Wow, really? Gosh, yes, so that was a long time ago. When I learnt this lesson, things changed. Okay, up to that point, I was saving money by doing a lot of the admin, a lot of the bits and pieces. I could stay a couple of hours at the end of the day and that kind of thing. What I didn't realize is I should have been doing the stuff I should have been doing. What on earth am I doing admin for? It's not my job. So I figured out how to delegate. Now, delegating is it's a kind of art, but we all have to start somewhere. But the most important thing is, who do we delegate to? Who do we outsource to? Okay, so the outsourcing in the internet world generally talks about freelance sites, but it doesn't have to be like that. There are other ways of doing it. But the most important thing is you can get people to do stuff for you without having staff or without having full-time staff. Let me explain. So first of all, let's talk about the outsourcing websites or freelance sites. Now, for those of us that aren't aware, there are the biggest ones. The largest one is freelancer.com. The second largest is odesk.com. And the figures, they don't send me their accounting figures anymore, but that's so it may have changed. But those are the two biggest ones. Then you have a slightly different version of Fiverr.com. Now, there are others. For those of you in the UK, I mean, these things are worldwide, okay? So it doesn't matter where you are. There are people all over the place. I'll explain a bit more in a sec. But there is also peopleperhour.com, which I'm pretty sure is a UK-based business, but again, works in the same way. Now, what happens with these is you go on, they are free to use. In fact, now I'm just trying to think, are they free to use? Fiverr charges a little tiny bit. Is it 10% or something? But hey, the jobs on Fiverr are what they sound. They are $5. That's like £3.50. Or in fact, post-Brexit, it's now a whopping £4. These are the whole jobs. But the way it works is, in effect, there are people all over the world, from England to America, to Canada, to the Vietnam, to China, to Russia, South Africa, Israel, and Uzbekistan. And I say that because one of my top WordPress coders is based in Uzbekistan. Fantastic guy. Anywhere, absolutely anywhere. Now, these people in their own countries, in their jobs, quite often do are experts at something. For instance, just give an example. Say somebody works at Pixar. Pixar, the animation company, now owned by Disney. Obviously, Pixar are fantastic, but they have a lot of staff. They have thousands of staff putting together those movies. But those individual staff are brilliant in their own way. So you've got someone there who's an expert Pixar animator. He's not Walt Disney himself or herself, but in their spare time, why can't they use that skill to do individual jobs for people? So if you've got a job that requires some expert animator, you can get someone like that who's doing a bit of part-time on the side work through one of these freelance sites. You put your job out there, you put your project out there, and it's kind of like putting something for sale on eBay. You put it out there, you put a description, and people, you say what kind of job it is. Is it website, design, research, search engine optimization, all stuff like that. Then people bid on it, and you look through and you have their history, kind of like eBay. Are they brand new? Have they ever worked on this? Are they trustworthy? What are the ratings from people before? And you just get them to do it. So any jobs you do, you can have, any jobs that you have, you can have other people do it for you. So all those jobs that you haven't had time to get around to, outsource them. Because if you get someone to do it for, say, $50, what's your time worth? You're the boss. You shouldn't be doing $5 an hour work. You should be doing $100, $200 an hour work. That you should be growing your business. You should not be trying to do little designs when you're not a designer, trying to code bits on your website when you're not a coder, trying to research stuff online when you're not a researcher. You can use all those. Now, if you go to a site like Odesk, you can actually, as well as putting out projects, you can have people do ongoing work by the hour. You can pay them by the hour, and you'll think to yourself, how do I know if they're working? Well, don't you think these sites have thought of that? They have tracking mechanisms, all sorts. Just look into it. It's brilliant. Now, and so for instance, at the moment, I've got some pay-per-click on Google AdWords work. I've got a guy in France who doesn't speak much English doing work for me. I've never met him. I've never spoken to him. The guy is brilliant. I'm paying him $40 an hour to do work for me. He is great. Saved me a fortune so far. But the other way is to ask around. It is very important that you do not have your spouse do the extra work for you. That is never going to work, because then, and I mean a spouse who doesn't have a full-time job working for you. If you get your spouse to do bits and pieces, then you have someone else in a family who's sucked in, spending hours and hours. You can go to your local university. You can put a job ad out there for a part-time or for a contract or for a temporary period. There are mums who are brilliant geniuses at work who then choose to have children and who want to be at home with their children but are going stir crazy. Their brains are very active and they've got nothing to do apart from going, ooh, goo, 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 ga, 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 ooh, little, all that stuff. They want to exercise their brains. Lots of people will do a couple of hours work a day, or 1 hour, 1 day a week, or half a day a week, or something. Try it. Until you've tried it, you won't know how easy it is. This is how I got going. When I started marketing for owners, I hired someone I met in the pub. Yes. And yes, it turns out she is a trained lawyer but wasn't working. It's great. So there are all ways. Now the company is fully staffed. It's, I don't know, 12 or 14 staff or something, and I don't even go. And I'm not an expert. I've never been trained to how to recruit anyone in my life. I'm hopeless at interviews, absolutely hopeless. So, and that's why I'm not allowed to interview anyone anymore. And I managed part-timers everywhere. In marketing for owners, Harvey does the videos. Jennifer looks after pretty much everything on the website and everything and all the posts and keeps me on track. Carolyn does a lot of the organising for the Owners Club. And these people are not contract. They are all part-time and they are in all places around the world. What more can I say? So Easy as that. So just try it. Remember, you don't have to outsource from all over the world. You can do it locally. You can do anything. Just do it. It is Monday. It is time for Book for the Week. And today we're talking about a book called The Membership Economy. Now, it's by a gentleman called Robbie Kellman Baxter. And what it effectively does, it's talking about membership. Now you might think, oh, I don't have a membership, but it's talking about how things like Netflix and Weight Watchers have generated all their income. But it's a great read because it's going to give you ideas. Because if you could get a continuity program where people pay you monthly or quarterly, they are longer term customers. You get more out of them. They are more loyal. It's a very good book. I recommend it. The Membership Economy. I will be back with another tip tomorrow.